thank you for joining me, and we're going to do something a little different today. We're going to start with a felt story, and then afterwards I'm going to show you how to make it. All right, are you kids ready to help? Okay, it's a fine sunny day. I think we should build a house. Do you know what color and shape that is? Did you say a yellow circle? Then you were right. And now we need to build the body of our house. Do you know what color and shape this is? You said a purple square. You were right. And now we need a roof. We're going to make this our roof. Do you know what color and shape it is? Did you say red triangle? Good for you. Okay, now what else does a house need? I think it needs a window. Shall we give it a window? Do you know what this is? Yes, it's a blue square. And now we need a door or nobody can get inside our house. So here we go. Here's our door. Now, what color and shape are the door? Did you guess pink rectangle? Then you were right. All right. Our house needs a chimney, so let's put a little chimney there. And can you tell me what that one is? Yes, it's a black rectangle. And how about now? I think we need a tree. Here we go. So there's the trunk of our tree. And what color is this and what shape? Yes, it is a brown rectangle. And now we need the top. And of course it's a tree, so it has to be green, and it's a circle. Oh, it was a long day building our house. I think it's time to go to sleep. Sun goes down and stars come out. Good night. Oh, supplies. All you really need are some felt and a sharp pair of scissors. But if you are a bit of a perfectionist and you like all your lines neat and your circles perfectly round, then grab a ruler and a glass for tracing circles. And you're going to need something to write on your felt with. I like to use a ballpoint pen because I find it shows up a lot better than pencil does. Unfortunately, it does not show up when you're doing dark colors like dark blue or black or brown. So in that case, what I do is I usually go looking for some tailor's chalk. Tailor's chalk is a sewing supply, usually comes in pencil form, but you can also get it in plain chalk form. And the white really shows up when I'm doing black or brown or felt or working with that. It makes my life a lot easier. So now I'm going to show you how to cut a bunch of shapes without actually drawing anything. The easiest one to do is a square. So you take your felt and you fold it along one edge from the corner so that you have a square. And then what you do is just cut along the edge. I learned this trick in elementary school. It's what we used to do to fold the paper before we started making snowflakes, because this way you got a rounder snowflake and not a really oblong one when you were using a piece of 8.5 by 11 or construction paper. So anyway, so if you want two triangles, you can just cut along that line right there, or you could open it up and see you have a fairly square foot square. All right, move that aside, and it leaves you with a rectangle, which you can use as is or trim down to different size. You can fold it and turn it into even more squares, and cut those into triangles, make triangles with different angles. So what you do is you want to mark the middle of each edge somehow. You can do it with a ballpoint pen, or you can snip like this. And then what you do is you're going to cut a line, a rounded line, going from one middle point to the next, and you keep going around the circle. The trick to making it nice and round and even is that with a hand that holds the felt, you need to spin the felt at an even pace. And when you're cutting, your scissors need to be opening and closing at a steady pace. If you do some short and some long, then you're going to get an uneven, lopsided circle. So if I have a big circle to cut, then I will probably grab a dish or a glass or something and trace that, because it's really hard to do this with big circles, but it's a lot easier with small ones. So say if I'm making a felt truck for a felt story, then I would cut out a whole bunch of small wheels freehand, just doing that. So you can see it's not a bad circle. If you're unhappy with it, then you just take it and start trimming until you've got the shape that you like. All right, there's another shape that you can do. Well, there's a couple of shapes. The first one and the easiest is a heart. So you fold your piece in half and you're going to cut half of a heart shape. And there's my half a heart, and now I have a whole heart. So if you don't like the way it looks, you just fold it back up again and trim until you do. There, that looks a little less weird. The other thing that you can do is you can cut a star. I'm not recommending you do this because it doesn't always work, because you have to keep all of your lines really, really straight and the same size. So what you're going to do is, to do one freehand though, you're going to cut a pentagon first, and you really have to make sure that the sides of your pentagon are pretty close to the same length. The more off they are, the worse your pentagon is going to look. So that one's quite off on the top. So what I can do is just make a not so steep angle. And we'll see if that makes it a better star. And then what you can do is cut a triangle out of each edge. So I'm not actually going on the corner. I'm just going right next to it. And again, you want to try and keep the sides as even as you can. So there you go. There's our first one, which doesn't look like a whole lot. It's going to look really weird until we get close to done, and then you can finally see that it's going to be a star. So yeah, if you don't quite do if you aren't happy with your triangles that you're cutting out, just do it again. Better to do smaller triangles though than really big ones right at the beginning and end up with a super skinny, weird looking star. So it's starting to look a little more like a star. And whoop, one more side to go. And there we go. We have a half decent star. And once you finish cutting out your pieces, you can give them to your kids to play with. I hope you have fun doing that, and hopefully they'll come up with something far more creative than my car rolling down a hill. You don't need an actual felt board for this craft. It works fine if you do it on a table. They play with them on a table or the floor. If a table is too slippery or you have laminate and the pieces are sliding around, they're getting frustrated, just find a piece of material, a towel or a tablecloth that they can play on, and that'll work and should solve that problem too. And it's a simple craft, so I hope you guys try it out and have lots of fun. Thanks for joining me, and bye-bye.